Good morning, student. I am Prabodh. Today we are going to start the chapter Force and Pressure. So, force. What is force? See, the force is an action usually results in some kind of change in the state of motion of an object. This statement is little bit hard to understand, so let me make you understand with the help of very simple examples. Now you can see there are some pictures on your screen. In first picture, a goalkeeper saving a goal. In second picture, a hockey player flicking a ball, and the third picture, a fielder stopping a ball. So all these are actions by different players. Now what is the definition of force tells you? Actions. So these are the actions usually result in some kind of change. So for this action there will be some changes in the state of motion of an object. So here there are three things related to each other. First one is action, then second one is change, third one is state of motion of an object. So let me give you a very simple example to make you understand. Suppose a ball is moving with certain speed. That means it is in motion. Motion means movement. Okay. When an object moves, it is considered that the object is in motion. So right now, in these three examples, the balls are moving. Now, the player is going to stop the ball or is going to make the ball move in any other direction. For that, he or she has to give a force. That is, he has to do some actions. So what is the action here? To make the ball stop, catch the ball, or push the ball, or strike the ball, or flick the ball. These are the actions. To change the state of an object, or here the object is ball, to change the state of motion of the ball, these actions are being taken by the players. So here these actions itself, this action itself is known as force. What is the action a person does to change the state of motion of an object? That action is known as force. Okay. Now, in science, a push or pull of an object is called a force. Thus, we can say that the motion imparted to objects was due to the action of a force. What is the meaning of this? So, a push or pull of an object is called a force. So, suppose a ball is coming towards you. You want to make the ball stop. So how will you do it? Okay, you need to catch it. Suppose you have a table. You want the table to be moved. You want to move the table, or you want to move a chair. How will you do it? Either you will push it or you will pull it. So in general, the action that is taken by a person is maybe a pulling action or a pushing action. So these actions are known as force. Thus, we can say that the motion imparted to objects was due to the action of a force. So, whatever there is change in motion, whatever the increase in speed, whatever it is due to the action of the body. Let me give you a very small example. Suppose on the ground a football is there. Now, football is at rest position. Okay. Now, suppose you will kick the football. What will happen? The football will start moving. Okay. Earlier, the football was at rest position. When you kicked the football, it start moving. So that kicking is known as action. So through that action, you are giving a particular force to the football, as a result of which the football starts moving. Okay. So when does a force come into play? In which case or when a force is required, a force come into play. So here we are going to discuss these questions. Forces are due to an interaction. When force comes into picture, when force is required, It is due to an interaction between the two objects or the two bodies. Now here you can see the pictures. The first one, a man standing behind a stationary car. Stationary means rest. The car is not moving, it is being parked. A man standing behind a stationary car. Okay, here the first picture you can see. In the second picture you can see that a car being pushed by a man. Now the man who was standing in the first picture is pushing the car in the second picture. Now see, if you compare these two pictures, when a car is parked, a man is standing, so the car is at rest position. Now when the man pushes the car, it may move. So to move the car, the man has to push it, has to apply some force. There is a physical interaction between the man and the car. Without the interaction, the application of force by the man on the car is not possible. Like suppose if you are sitting at your room, there is a book. If you ask the book, that book come to me, book come to me, the book is not going to come to you by itself. You have to pick the book and you have to bring it to you. Okay, so there has to be some kind of physical interaction between two bodies so that the application of force can be possible. Okay, I hope you understood this one. Now, exploring forces. So in general, there are two types of forces: balanced force and unbalanced force. We'll talk about balanced force and unbalanced force in the coming classes. So now you can see these pictures. In the first picture, there are two boys pushing a box in one particular direction. Now can you guess in which direction the box will move? Obviously in this direction, as you can see in the picture. Okay, now here two friends pushing a heavy load, in first case, in the same direction. The friend 1 and friend 2 both are pushing a heavy load, a box, in one particular direction. So in that direction only the box will move. Now in the second picture, that is B, in opposite direction. Now you can see this guy is standing here, this person is standing here. Now this person is trying to push this box in this direction, as you can see in the arrow. Now here this guy is trying to push this box in this direction, as you can see in the arrow. Okay, so they are trying to push this box in opposite directions. So what will happen here? Force applied on an object in the same direction add to one another. So this is related to the first example. Let us again go to the first one. Now see here, suppose this person, this guy, is only standing, he is not pushing. Now this box is here, it is a heavy box. This first person is trying to push this box. Now it is very hard for this first person to push this box. So this guy asks his friend to help him out, so that if both of them will push this box, the box can be easily moved. Now see, first person was not been able to move, or it is very hard for the first person to move the box. When second person joined him, it is little bit easier for them to move the heavy box. That means both of them have applied some amount of forces on the box in the same direction. Same direction, both of them are pushing. One is pushing, one is pulling. It is not like that. Both of them are pushing only. So the force is applied in the same direction. Here the forces are added. Okay. In opposite to it, if the two forces act in the opposite directions on an object, the net force acting on it is the difference between two forces. So this statement, it looks little bit bigger, but it is very easy. Now see, in the first statement, this one, what we came to know, that if more than one forces, that is 2, 3, 4, here two forces we have considered. If two forces are applied on a body in the same direction, then the forces are going to be added. Now suppose this boy is applying 5 Newton force and the second boy is applying 10 Newton force. So what will be the total amount of force? 5 Newton plus 10 Newton, that is 15 Newton. Okay, in the second case, why it is added? In the first case, why it is added? Because as I mentioned you that both of them are applying the force in the same direction, they are pushing. Okay, now in the second case, this boy is applying a force in this direction, this boy is applying a force in this direction, they are in opposite direction. Okay, so in this case, if the forces are applied in the opposite direction, they are going to be subtracted. Same direction added, opposite direction subtracted. Okay, so here this statement tells you about that one. So if two forces act in opposite direction, so there are two forces, they are acting in the opposite directions on an object, the net force acting on it is the difference between the two forces. Here in the first case, if the forces are applied in the same direction, the net force is addition. In the second case, if the forces are applied in the opposite direction, the net force is subtraction. Okay, so I hope we could understand this one. Now, so we learn that a force could be larger or smaller than the other or equal to each other. So see, if you compare a 5-year-old boy to a 30-year-old man, the amount of force which is applied by a 30-year-old man is much more higher than the amount of force which is applied by a 5-year-old kid. So force can be differentiated, force can be different depending upon the person or an object. Okay, suppose if you compare yourself with elephant, the amount of force which is applied by the elephant and the amount of force which can be applied by you, there is no comparison of it. Okay, so the value of force can be different. The strength of a force is usually expressed by its magnitude. See, what is magnitude? Magnitude is a numerical value, a number. As I give you example that 5 Newton force, 10 Newton force. So these 5, 10, these numbers are known as magnitude. Suppose if I ask you what is your height, suppose someone tell me 4 feet, someone tell me 5 feet, someone tell me 6 feet. So these 4, 5, 6, these are the magnitude. Magnitude of what? Magnitude of your height. Similarly, these forces 5 Newton, 10 Newton. So 5 what? 5 Newton of what? 10 Newton of what? So 5, this value, this 5 is the value or the magnitude of the force. The 10 is also the magnitude or the value of the force. Okay, so magnitude is nothing but a numerical value. So we have also to specify the direction in which a force is acting. Now this point is important. So far we have understand what is force, when forces are applied in the same direction, it is going to be added. When forces are applied to the different direction or opposite direction, it is going to be subtracted. Now, the strength of a force is usually expressed in magnitude. We have completed this one. We have also to specify the direction. So direction is important. Now see, suppose you throw a stone. Okay, suppose you throw a stone in the forward direction. Suppose you pick up a stone and you throw it. So in which direction it is moving? Okay, so you must have thrown stone while going to school and while playing some games and whatever it is. So you throw a stone away from you. Okay, so will the stone move towards you or it is moving away from you? Okay, so obviously, suppose you have right now you do one thing. Suppose this is the table and this is your pen. All of you must be playing pen fight. In this day, this is very famous. So when you push the pen with the help of your pen, so it is going away from you. Why it is moving away from you? Because you are pushing it. Okay, so this is called the direction. So the force has a particular direction. Suppose you are pushing something. If you push something, in which direction you are giving the force? Away from you. If you are pulling something, in which direction you are giving the force? towards you. So as per the direction of force the body moves. So this is called a direction. Direction means the way in which the body moves. Also, if the direction or the magnitude of the applied force changes, its effect also changes. So here we saw two things. Force has one value, that is magnitude, and direction. So force depends upon two things. First one is magnitude, second one is direction. So either magnitude will change or the direction will change, then the force is going to be changed. Okay. Let us suppose if I applied 5 Newton force in the north direction. Okay, 5 Newton force in the south direction. Now see, 5 Newton force in the north direction, 5 Newton force in the south direction. The magnitude is same. Magnitude is 5 and 5 for both north and south. But is the direction is same? No, the direction is not same. That is why 5 Newton force north is not same as 5 Newton force south. They are different. Then magnitude may be same, the direction is different. Similarly, if I apply two forces, one is a 4 Newton in the north direction and 20 Newton in the north direction. Now in this case you see the direction of the forces is same. Okay, but their magnitude, their value is not same. One is 4, one is 20. Okay, so in this case also the forces are not same. So this is what this statement is trying to tell you. So also, if the direction of the magnitude of the applied force changes, its effect also changes. That means if you pull an object towards you, it will come towards you. If you push an object away from you, it will move away from you. It is not possible that if you pull an object, then it will move away from you. Okay. Now next one, in general, more than one force may be acting on an object. However, the effect on the object is due to the net force acting on it. So here what this statement is trying to tell you, that the total amount of force can be calculated by adding or subtracting the amount of forces which is, or the number of forces which is applied on a body. So on a body there maybe 2 number of forces, 3 number of forces, or more than 3 number of forces applied. Depending upon the direction of the body, direction of the force which is applied on the body, the net force can be calculated. Okay. Now this is one of the assignment, one of the table. You try to fill this table up. Okay. And try to solve these questions. If you have any doubt relating to this video, comment. I'll try to clear your doubt as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you and have a good day.